Not all spirits in the Sally house are childlike. While many have entered its shadowed halls in search of answers, expecting to encounter playful whispers and the soft, fleeting laughter of a little girl, some have found something else entirely, something older, more watchful, and far more sinister. For those who linger in the quiet between heartbeats, in the low hush of a house that never truly sleeps, there are moments when the air thickens, when the atmosphere changes, and when it feels as if another presence, ancient and implacable, waits just out of sight. It often begins with subtle signs. A breath felt, but not heard, just beyond the veil of normalcy. The faintest suggestion of movement behind a curtain, a blurry figure, neither entirely shadow nor fully formed. Low, deliberate breathing, as if someone, or something, stands mere inches away, hidden yet wholly aware of those who trespass. The room grows colder, the air heavier, and the feeling of being watched intensifies until it becomes impossible to ignore. Investigators, both professional and amateur, have long been drawn to the Sally house by stories of the little girl's ghost. Yet, as they comb through hours of recordings, a pattern emerges. Electronic voice phenomena, those mysterious, often chilling audio fragments, reveal two distinct voices. One is unmistakably childlike, playful, curious, sometimes mischievous. But layered beneath or beside it, there is another. A voice that resonates deeper, crackling with distortion, dripping with malice. It is the sound of something older than the house itself, something that neither welcomes nor tolerates intruders. Those who have heard this second voice describe it as hateful, almost guttural. It reverberates through the walls, sending shivers down the spine. During late-night sessions, it might manifest as a single word, "Leave!" or as an inhuman growl that echoes long after the recording has stopped. What is most disturbing, however, is the way the two voices sometimes seem to overlap, as if the playful spirit of the little girl is being manipulated or overshadowed by a more dominant force. The climactic encounter that changed everything occurred one stormy evening when a seasoned investigator, known for his skepticism, was standing near the staircase, equipment in hand. Without warning, he was thrown backwards by an unseen force, his body crashing against the wall. Disoriented, he gasped for air, his heart pounding in his chest. Later, when he recounted the experience, his voice trembled. He described seeing, just for a moment, the apparition of an old man with hollow eyes hovering near the stairs. The figure was gaunt, almost skeletal, with features twisted in rage or sorrow. He couldn't say which. Its gaze pierced through him, cold and accusatory, as if this entity had been waiting in the gloom for someone to challenge its dominion. It radiated an overwhelming presence, far more oppressive than the supposed spirit of a child. Others, too, have reported similar figures, a tall, shadowy form lurking at the periphery of their vision, always watching, always just out of reach. Some describe the sensation as being stalked by a predator, an intelligence that is entirely unlike the innocence attributed to Sally. It is cunning, patient, and deeply hostile to those who dare enter its domain. Dr. Willis, a renowned parapsychologist, has spent years studying the case. His theory is both unsettling and compelling. He suggests that the story of Sally, the little girl ghost, may be nothing more than a mask, a lure designed to draw in the curious and the vulnerable. According to Dr. Willis, the true entity hides behind this facade of innocence, using it as a way to gain trust and lower defenses. Once a crack appears, once fear, doubt, or grief opens a doorway, the entity slips through, revealing its true nature. The idea is not without precedent. Throughout history, accounts of malevolent spirits often describe them as shapeshifters, adapting their appearance and demeanor to suit their needs. By presenting itself as a harmless child, the entity behind the curtain can manipulate emotions, inviting compassion or sympathy. It is only when its hold is challenged, when someone refuses to play along, that its true form is revealed. This theory is supported by numerous reports from those who have spent extended periods in the Sally house. While some visitors experience only mild disturbances, flickering lights, cold spots, the feeling of a small hand tugging at their clothes, others encounter escalating aggression. Objects are thrown, doors slam shut, and oppressive dread fills every corner. These incidents often follow attempts to confront or communicate with the supposed child spirit, suggesting that the entity's patience has limits and that its kindness is nothing more than a ruse. There are stories, too, of dreams and visions that linger long after leaving the house. Some describe recurring nightmares in which the walls close in and the air grows thick with darkness. Others report seeing the hollow-eyed man in mirrors or in the corners of their rooms, as if he has followed them home. Sleep becomes elusive, haunted by the memory of his gaze and the certainty that he is waiting, biding his time. What then is the true nature of the entity that haunts the Sally house? Some believe it is the restless spirit of a former resident, twisted by years of isolation and suffering. Others suggest it may be something even older, a remnant of the land itself, predating the construction of the house. Folklore is filled with tales of spirits that attach themselves to locations, feeding on fear and despair, growing stronger with each passing year. Those who have studied the house's history point to a troubling pattern. Before the legend of Sally took hold, there were already reports of strange occurrences, unexplained illnesses, violent tempers, and sudden deaths. It is as if the house was marked from the very beginning, cursed by an event lost to time, or by a tragedy so profound that it stained the very foundation. Over the years, attempts to cleanse the house have met with limited success. Priests, shamans, and psychics have all been called upon to banish the darkness, but each has left with the uneasy feeling that something remains. Some have even fallen ill or suffered misfortune after their visits, as if the entity is capable of reaching beyond the boundaries of the house itself. And so, the legend persists. The line between truth and fiction blurs, and the house continues to draw those who seek answers or who are simply unable to resist its call. For some, the story of a little girl lost to tragedy is enough to explain the strange phenomena. For others, the evidence points to something far more disturbing, a cunning, ancient force that hides behind the mask of innocence, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. In the quiet hours of the night, when the house is still and the world outside has faded into darkness, it is easy to imagine the entity watching from behind the curtain, its breathing low and steady. It waits, patient and unyielding, feeding on fear and curiosity in equal measure. Those who have felt its presence say that it is impossible to forget, the sensation of being observed by something that is neither alive nor dead, something that exists in the shadows between worlds. What if Sally was never a little girl at all? What if the name, the story, and the gentle laughter are nothing more than tools, carefully chosen by an entity that understands human nature all too well? The possibility is as chilling as it is compelling, for it suggests that the true danger of the Sally house lies not in what can be seen or heard, but in what remains hidden, lurking just beyond perception. Those who enter the house do so at their own risk, drawn by curiosity or the promise of answers. Some leave with nothing more than a few unsettling memories. Others are changed forever, haunted by the certainty that they have encountered something ancient, a force that cannot be dismissed or explained away. For them, the line between this world and the next has been blurred, and they carry the weight of that knowledge with them always. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the Sally house is not the identity of its spirits, but the nature of the darkness that dwells within. Is it a single entity, clever and adaptive, or a collection of restless souls bound together by tragedy and rage? Does it seek redemption, or does it exist solely to torment those who dare to cross its threshold? The answers remain elusive, hidden behind layers of myth and fear. What is certain is that the house endures, its secrets intact. The stories will continue to evolve, shaped by each new visitor and every unexplained event. But for those who have looked behind the curtain, who have heard the low breathing and felt the weight of hollow eyes upon them, the truth is clear. Not all spirits are what they seem. Some are far older, far more dangerous, and far more patient than we can ever imagine. As the years pass, the legend of the Sally house only grows. New generations arrive, armed with cameras and recorders, eager to capture evidence of the supernatural. Some succeed, returning with chilling images and recordings that defy explanation. Others find only silence, the house withholding its secrets, content to let its reputation do the work. But every so often, someone encounters the other entity, the one that does not play, does not laugh, and does not forget. For them, the memory of that encounter never fades. It becomes a part of them, a shadow that lingers at the edge of every thought. They know, as surely as they know their own names, that the story of Sally is only the beginning. The true tale lies in the darkness, waiting to be discovered, waiting for someone brave, or foolish, enough to look behind the mask. In the end, perhaps that is the greatest power of the Sally House, its ability to draw us in, to make us question what we believe, and to remind us that some mysteries are best left unsolved. For every answer found, a dozen more emerge, each more unsettling than the last. It is a place where the past and present collide, where innocence and evil walk side by side, and where the boundaries between worlds are as thin as the curtain behind which the entity waits. So, the next time you hear a story about the Sally House, the laughter of a child, the sudden chill, the unexplained voices, remember that there may be more to the tale than meets the eye. Remember that, in the shadows, something else listens, something that has been waiting a very long time. And if you ever find yourself standing in that quiet, haunted house, with only a curtain between you and the unknown, listen closely. You might hear the low breathing. You might feel the weight of hollow eyes upon you. And in that moment, you will understand what so many before you have come to realize. Not all spirits are childlike, and some are far older and far more dangerous than we can ever comprehend.